So
Shut up now.
It's on what, Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit.
Oh,
Hold on, I'm coming, y'all.
We coming.
We coming. I'm trying to Facebook. Oh shit, let me turn this down. What's up, family? What's up, family? I had to get me a little bite to eat. Finals week at school, and I've been busy schooling. And, I'm trying to share this on the book so to make it easy for other people to join in and check us out. Thanks for joining us. Come on in. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes. Come on in, grab your drink, grab your blunt, coffee, tea, whatever it is you into. We got a hot one tonight. Of course, we ain't going to just keep it to one topic. You know, we're going to try to give you at least two in an hour space, maybe three. However the flow go, that's what we going to do. So, I don't know why how Tim say this is on here.
It's on, baby.
No.
What's not
It's
on?
the live feed.
Live feed? That's the live feed right there, baby.
I said on Facebook. You said, yeah, you talking about YouTube. That's YouTube. Thought you were saying it was live on Facebook.
It is live on Facebook. You gotta go to your page.
Oh, it's on my page.
It's on, yeah, remember?
I was thinking they might let you in.
Oh, I mean, well,
They didn't.
They didn't.
You is not happening.
They done blocked us. They done blocked us.
So anyway, we about to get started, y'all. First of all, let's talk about y'all's week. I wish we had somebody who could call in. Tell us about their week, how it went, where they going with it. But today, we're going to talk about when how Tim sit his ass on down with the crew. Lumala got his coat on like Barney. He ain't got his scarf on, though, this time.
I'm here. What's up, family?
So,
hey, family.
One of the things we're going to talk about today, excuse my eating, but I felt like I was going to pass out.
And she ain't want to pass out because she know I'm going to hijack the goddamn, I'm going to knock her ass down.
He might try to fondle me or something, so I know I couldn't be.
Oh, baby, I don't do no sleep fondling. I'm a man. I got honor. I only fondle those that want to be fondled.
Okay, cool. So we're talking about propaganda. You can have something to say about that before I get to my article?
Propaganda. Family propaganda is a very, very important thing. This is why we set up G&J.media, because propaganda shapes how people think. Now, every last one of us are involved in propaganda every day. There's propaganda in your job. There's propaganda on your job. There's propaganda in your life. If you watch TV, listen to radio, use the internet, or even have a job, you are subject of propaganda. So family, we got to really look at this thing and learn how to use it, because I am ready to talk about this shit. And propaganda is one of the major things that is tearing us up as a people.
Propaganda have you believing some shit that's just not true. For example, I don't know if anybody has checked out lately in the news, but they've been talking about black attacks on Asians. Now, I've been real busy, but I got a little bit I'm going to talk about here regarding that. It says they're talking about here that a young black man grabbed a 64-year-old man and threw him to the concrete, kicked him in his ribs, broke his collarbone, and made off with $200 credit cards in Chin's identification. Chin being, hold on one second, y'all. I got somebody needing the information on how to, listen on YouTube. And I want everybody to be able to join us.
They won't even let me post up where we are. I'm so glad y'all coming in and finding us. Where y'all finding us at? Those that's out there in the chat, let us know where you finding us. Make sure you like and share, because they're trying to stop what we're doing, family. I have been blocked on all of my channels on Facebook. I told you this is why we have to start building our own platform.
Yes.
We're doing something that for some reason is not liked and it's starting to be blocked. And you already know 2 of my channels on YouTube have already been,
dismantled.
Basically.
Anyway, so they talked about here in this article about these how these young black men, with no warning, they grabbed the 64-year-old Asian dude, threw him on the concrete, broke his ribs, collarbone, and made off with $200, credit cards, and Chin's identification. No one was caught the attackers. Now it says also there's been 4 high-profile attacks of blacks against Asians that have occurred since January in San Francisco and in Oakland. Okay? Including the beating death of Tian Sheng Yu, 59. When there was 2 18-year-olds charged with murder. Now, what's his name? Chin's daughter said it's pure discrimination. Blacks are discriminating against Asians. And I've even heard, I need to verify this. Like I said, I didn't get this information till late, and I wanted to share it with the family. But that the government is even talking about releasing monies to help with this brutality that blacks are perpetrating to Asians, and maybe some type of funding that would produce like what do you call it, awareness or whatever, cultural awareness type programs.
So they're doing
victim awareness programs, and victim programs, like compensation for victims and things like that.
You mean reparations?
That is a form of reparations, yes. Now, my thing with that is, okay, cool. I just haven't seen the statistics on the white folks that have fucked up Asians, number one. Number two, what about the cops that fuck up black folks? We still can't get no kind of nothing regarding that.
Nothing at all.
But on the flip side of the black and Asian side of the game, especially when you go to cities like Los Angeles, where you have a heavy Asian influence there, and they own a lot of businesses that black people support and get services from, they kick black people's asses all the time. I don't know how many videos y'all done seen. I know y'all done seen them of Asians whooping black people's asses because they didn't want to pay for their nails, or because I've even been in the Asian shop like, this shit ain't right, and
pay.
You pay. That's
you pay.
It. You pay. They only. One bitch took my whole half of my eyebrow off. Oh, sorry. I give you $3 off.
$3.
$3 off, bitch. You just took half my eyebrow off. The service should have been free at that point. But I know where we live, in the system we are in, if I'd have said I ain't paying shit, I'd have been in there fighting agents, and I tore that whole motherfucker up. That whole motherfucker up. I'd have tore the roof off the sucker. Yeah. So
tear the roof off.
Sucker, tear the roof off the mother sucker. Tear the roof off the sucker.
What?
So, the propaganda is real. But we got to, because I've seen black folks on social media sharing this propaganda that black folks is out here abusing Asians.
How many of y'all got friends out there abusing Asians? Really, think about it. See, because this is why it's important that we need to be, like she said, we got to be cognizant of what we share and how we share.
You're using big words and everything.
We got to think about what we share, family, and how we share it. Because sometimes when you share something, make sure you put a statement on it of your support or your non-support. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Be clear about it. Because this is the issue. We just posting stuff and we're sharing stuff and we're giving people free advertisement to destroy and to focus on us.
But the thing about it is, a lot of times, and I've been guilty myself, you'll post an article and the headline might say one thing, but when you read into that motherfucker, it's a whole different ball game. So I learned, though, not to comment unless I read at least half of the motherfucker article. Because I done had instances where I've read shit, the heading, And then I'd be like, this some bullshit and woo, 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 woo. And then they'd be like, did you even read it? Then I'm like, I just read the title. So, but my point is, the media machine is real. And this is going to be a way to break up us as a people from getting what we deserve by saying, well, now we are the perpetrators of this violence and discrimination. It's a whole diversion tactic to get away from us being the victims to us being the victimizers. And so y'all really got to watch that piece. Don't fall for that shit about black people are out here abusing these Asians in large numbers.
Yeah, family, now. And then also, let's look at how propaganda has basically shaped the very quote-unquote communities that we live in. Because what a lot of us consider black culture now, let me tell you what it is.
What is it?
It's prison culture.
What do you mean by that, Brother Hatem? I work with the prison system and shit, right. So you need to clarify this shit.
All right, cool. Now check this out. If we look at how a lot of our young boys and a lot of our young people are coming up, they're coming up in ways that are, they're wearing clothes in a way as if they was in prison. A lot of the songs are glorifying bullshit that will get you in prison. So it fuels the system. And on top of that, when you look at some of the behaviors that some of us have, because think about this, I have to worry about whether or not if my son can start a business in the black community, not whether or not he's going to go to school and be able to achieve. I got to wonder if my son is going to be able to survive in that shit. And that's how you think about somebody when they go into war or going to jail. I cry for niggas when they go to jail that I know, because I be like, damn, I hope.
You don't know if he's going to be able to make it.
I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. And that's how that's how a lot of our neighborhoods have descended into. And it's not a black culture, it's a jail culture. And all that shit has been propagated by the media through the music and through the movies and through what they sensationalize, and we eat that shit up. My generation is especially guilty of that shit, including me.
So let me ask you this question. Is the problem the music and the movie, or is the problem the mentality of the person watching it?
Now, is all that and then some.
I think so too.
You understand what I'm saying? Because what we're dealing with is something that is a mechanism that's been in motion for so long that motherfuckers are able to tweak it. They're able to tweak it because the neighborhoods or the ghettos that we live in right now are not the same ghettos that many of us came up in.
Right.
It's a totally different thing. Same people, totally different thing. Our view of education is totally different than our view of education when we, in many cases, was coming up. What changed the perception? Right? One of the things that assisted with that, I ain't saying only, but one of the things that assisted with that was the propaganda that Navita is talking about.
Mm-hmm. Well, propaganda plays a big role because once you, for example, when the crack era came, see how they spun it with the propaganda. When the crack era came, it was about the crackhead. They had crime is increased. We got to put a bill out there that's going to keep these motherfuckers in jail because they're not learning there's just criminals out here selling these horrible drugs. And, and even us as black people, we made jokes about crackheads, and all of that. So mind you,
those jokes are funny.
Right, it might have been some funny shit. I ain't got no problem because I'm a comedic writer, so I find comedy in a lot of shit, so I don't get easily offended. But my point is this: so I was in class one day, and they were talking about something. No, I was in a Facebook group, and one of the people said, "Well, it's not fun. It's not right to make fun of people and their addiction." But see how the propaganda has spun this opioid epidemic as a sympathy thing. And I see even other black people who say, oh, I feel so bad. And, my kid was an addict. This one was an addict in my family. And it's just, I feel so sorry. But I didn't see y'all having that same sympathy in the 80s and 90s when y'all was making songs like Night of the Living Bassheads, but laughing at the imagery that was in the video. You know, no, but now if you say anything about somebody on opioids, you know, now it's like you the devil.
You the devil.
You can't make, but you say something about crackheads. You know what I'm saying? Strawberry is the neighborhood hoe. Remember that? But you know, you can't say those type of things about, and that's because the propaganda, because it had a predominantly white face on it, and we propaganda, and then now we done bought into it like, oh, it's such a sad thing, which it is a sad thing,
and we helped spread it.
But we needed to make sure that we had that same sympathy when it had a black face.
If it was a crime back then, it should be a crime right now. It should be a
crime right now. Mass incarceration started from the war on drugs.
Exactly. Yeah. But now what's happening?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we see how it can be spent. And we can see. And then on top of that, let's look at the propaganda that made it popular for our young people to want to be able to get up and be a thug and be a drug dealer and do that shit. It was the propaganda, family.
Yes.
It's the thoughts that was spent. I want you to think about when we was coming up, the most popular movie for us.
Well, some of it was propaganda, especially for people who lived outside that neighborhood and didn't have to do it. But I watched recently, but I watched over the years, some documentaries about that. And like, especially in Los Angeles, when the drugs was dropped and the guns was dropped into their neighborhoods, and you know, and then they started selling it, and then they would see people in their neighborhoods with the flashy cars and all the women in the nice clothes. That was what drew them to it. And then that's culture, propaganda. That for personal propaganda, sale, you know, but right. Media propaganda, which I'm talking about, I think the media piece brought the motherfucker who was in the country and saw it. Now he want to be cool, and now he wants to try to be a drug dealer too. But a lot of the drug dealing stuff came out of people who were impoverished in a particular area where they felt like there was no out, and then all of a sudden they dropped that dope and then go ahead.
I'm gonna say there was no out.
Okay.
For a majority of them, let's be honest. Because at the same time, I want y'all to remember this. At the same time they dropped that shit in our neighborhoods, that's when all the major factories started stopping. That's when they needed bodies for war and shit like that. There was very limited opportunities out there, or real opportunities, because motherfucker, well, they could have worked at McDonald's, but
who's gonna be able to survive and take care of their family with a McDonald's salary? I mean, they fighting right now about shit being $15 an hour. Back then, McDonald's was $3.35 was minimum
wage. Not only
that,
when we came up in a culture that was telling us
get the bag. Shit.
This is before they get the bag. You got to be out of here by the time you 18.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of us that heard that. Now I was blessed that I didn't necessarily hear that, but I know a lot of people in my family heard that shit from people that loved that they were supposed to love them, and knowing that there was no opportunities out there. You're not working hard enough. You're not virtuous enough.
That's how you pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You was about to say something, Lou?
Well, no, go ahead on.
Purple rain. Okay. Jose did that? Yep, Jose. That's a product of Jose there. That's a nice shirt.
You know, everything y'all saying is correct. You know, and
what?
You know,
do you agree with me?
But at the same time, you know, there were brothers, you know, and people who, when that came on the scene, they wanted to be a part of that anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they thought that part of what they wanted to do was going to get them where they needed to go.
And then many times it did.
It did. But it got them in the wrong place, because look, when Superfly was out, right? The movie, right? Superfly, right? You know, people started wearing maxis and doing, you know, maxi clothes, you know, the maxi
dress,
and the men was wearing maxi suits and stuff, right?
Okay.
And I know a friend of mine, you know, he ain't always sold no dope.
Okay.
But he had begun to sell dope.
Okay.
When the police did some kind of way. I don't know where he was at the time, but he was in New Orleans. But when it came down on him, you know, he said that, you know, he wound up doing the time and all of that kind of stuff.
He went to prison, okay.
Yeah. But he had $75,000 on him. He said that they confiscated and he, you know, couldn't get that. He couldn't get that back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all I am saying is that, you know, sometimes we got to evaluate, you know, well, all the time we need to evaluate, you know, what it is we getting ready to take part in. You see what I'm saying?
For sure. But when you trying to survive and put some money in your mouth, especially with the crack game, you know, you had 15-year-old boys that was bringing in almost $1 million a year, if not more. Now, they were new. They were new to this. There was no model. What, damn it?
I'm gonna say this. Remember that we had a culture. We had always had an underground, in a sense, criminal culture. What crack did, crack made it possible for everybody to get in that shit. Because I don't know if y'all remember where I was from, it was only certain motherfuckers in the neighborhood that could do anything wrong because the older dudes would check your ass about that shit. Mm-hmm. Everybody couldn't be a hustler. Crack hit and it leveled the playing field for everybody. So all of a sudden now anybody couldn't, it didn't matter what your family was doing or whatever. Anybody could get into the game if you had some spare change.
But what, you know, and let me just say this, and I don't recommend anybody sell crack, but a lot of times, you know, people do, like Illumina said, they lost some. There's some people, they parlayed that shit into a legitimate business. You know, I know plenty of people.
I don't.
That have, I do, but I'm not going to say their names, but I do.
I don't know nobody.
You don't know nobody that went out and got into real estate after they and got off the dope game by going into real estate?
I don't know nobody.
Bro, please. Just like when if you
forgot my name.
If you watch Hip Hop Uncovered, the documentary series on Hulu, they talk about how the drug dealers were the ones that funded the hip hop music industry.
I don't know nothing about
and that. And how it was all funded and started by drug dealers trying to get out the game.
That's all hearsay.
Shit, you know what? You're going to hear me slap the shit out you.
Why you keep threatening me online? You
just be talking.
That's sexy. Tell her. That's, yeah, girl. Look at them. Nice big lips, too. But hey, listen.
Go ahead, Lumala wants to say
something. Go ahead, Lumala.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No.
He wanted to see you slap me. That's what the fuck that was. Boy, you better be glad I got on my.
Yo, see, I ain't got no cigarette. I'm trying to quit smoking.
Me too.
Give a puff off that.
I ain't got no cigarettes. Oh hell no, I don't smoke no cigar. But you know, but you know, needless to say, you know, then we, you know, started seeing in the media, you know, you got, you know, like they said, Boys to the Hood was not the purpose was not to glamorize that shit. You know what I'm saying? But if your mentality wasn't right, because when I watched Boys in the Hood at 22 and I watched it in my 40s, I had two different analogies.
Exactly.
Two different analogies. So that's why it's important, because I think the mentality is important, to change the mentality, to teach us while you're young, because there's always going to be a NWA, a Lil Wayne. There's always going to be, as long as they're in charge with the media. Even if we are, it's still going to be. But we got to change minds.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing wrong with a good gangster movie sometimes, as long as you just leave it right there as a movie and keep it moving. But when you start wanting to bring that shit into your reality, and you have to have a balance, of course. You don't want to watch that shit constantly fuck up your chi or your ba or ka or whatever you want to call it. Then you need to have a balance. You know what I'm saying? But any other areas where you see?
I'll give you one.
What? Give it to me then.
Relationships.
Expound.
Propaganda has totally fucked up the relationships within the black community. Well, let's say assisted. propaganda has, in a sense, switched the roles, helped shift the roles, and made it simpler for motherfuckers.
Okay. Because you see, they're getting rid of Potato Head's Mister.
I didn't know that. What is it? Just potato head?
It's just Potato Head.
Shut the fuck up.
That's
my kids will not play with Potato Head.
They're taking the Mister off of it.
Oh,
and and they want to just call it Potato Head because I guess it's not gender neutral or some shit like that. Oh shit, I forgot all about the chat. Yeah. I'm sorry, ain't nobody saying shit anyway.
Yeah,
y'all motherfuckers.
Damn, what's going on? Maybe they can't. They might not
can't post messages to some channels.
Right, because them are the ones that minds are blocked. We all blocked up, family. It's like we got constipation. We got social media constipation. Can somebody type
something in the chat so I can see if it's working? Yeah, we Facebook done twisted us up like a goddamn pretzel, and we aren't able to.
That's a good one.
Do a lot of the things that we usually do. But anyway, so the relationship part.
Well, let me ask this a question.
Go ahead.
Because it seems like we keep depending on Facebook and all of these other books out here. How can a person get and view us? And hopefully, who's ever out there that you got your pencil and paper available, so you can write down the what? The code.
It's gnj.media, but
don't say but.
No, I got to say but because it crashed because so many people uploaded so much stuff that it took down the system. So I went and updated that. So we getting some work done on it.
I'm not seeing the comments for some reason.
Okay.
Thank you, S. Freedom. Is she coming?
Thank you, Freedom. I don't know if she's going to be able to.
When will G&J Media be back up? When will
G&J.media will be up hopefully by the end of this week.
By the end of the week.
Right.
So
this costs us money.
You still can put in
G&J.media.
N, the letter N for November, J for January, .media. Put that somewhere where you can find it, family. So we can begin to start bypassing.
We got to build up our own shit.
All of this stuff.
Right. Because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
See, when you can go straight into GNJ Media, when you can go into GNJ.media, then you don't have to depend on what white folks are doing.
How they feel about what we saying.
Right.
And that's where we're trying to take this program to.
Right. So that's why when we can bring and have open conversations without having to worry about, being shut down. And this is that's why it's important. We just asked for $10 a month. Y'all spend that much y'all spend more than that on a blunt. You can sacrifice half a blunt a month for the betterment of Black folks.
Because we got to get our news out there.
Because
we got to have this conversation.
And revolution ain't free, my niggas and niggettes.
It's not.
My kings and queens. It's not free. But people want to sit back and talk about what we don't have. What we don't have and what we don't see. But you got a viable group of people who are trying to be and fulfill that vision, but knowing when it comes to me saying, can I get $10 a month? I ain't seen it. I ain't seen nobody join $10 a month yet since we've been on the air.
Man. I haven't either, and it's a sad state of affair. You know what I'm saying?
And we do things in the community.
You're trying to enjoy free media, and I can dig on that.
It's not
free.
We don't
want y'all to leave. We don't want y'all to leave, but we do want y'all to support.
Family, and please understand this: it's not free. If you are not paying for it, you are the product. This is why these commercials are popping up on your timeline.
Son, sorry. Go ahead, son.
Now, I forgot what else. You scared the hell out of me. But anyway, family, it's not free. If you are receiving services for free, you are the product. You are the product. Please understand that. They're selling your data. So you're not on it for free. You're selling your privacy. Please understand that.
Like your privacy down there.
In some cases. Because if you look up yeast infection, there'll be some type of yeast. They'll be popping that shit up on your timeline, and you'll be trying to share with your friend, and all of a sudden commercials pop up. Your business exposed.
Just think that we are in a relationship with you, and you are in a relationship with us. Yeah. We are giving you something, and in return, you're giving us. $10.
And you can
just look at it like that.
And we also support young folks in the community. We do rites of passage programs. We feed people who don't have food at the time. If somebody calls us and says, "Yo, I need this in the community,"
stop.
And we are able to help.
Don't do it.
And we are nonprofit.
Then we'll do it.
Whatever it costs,
we do it.
We're not nonprofit.
We do clothes drive.
We're not nonprofit.
Okay.
We are not nonprofit, and whatever it costs, we have to pay for that out of our pocket.
Yeah, we do.
Right, we pay for everything out of our pocket, other than our supporters that are in the, that are they help us with our anyway. But anyway, backing up for the goddamn person of that.
That's why I say we're in a relationship. So we were getting ready to talk about relationships.
And it ain't the type of relationship that you've been receiving on propaganda. You being propagandized about. We ain't the knight in shining armor coming to save your ass.
I think it's propaganda that black and white, that somehow black people can't get shit right in their relationships, but white people seem to know it all, and they're doing the greatest. I think that's propaganda, because I always hear black people just can't get along with one another, but their relationships 50% of divorce.
We get along pretty good though.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't trying to hit me and shit.
I just think that male-female relationships can be fucked up, and I don't give a damn what race you are.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
For the most part. Now, some people are still have that old tradition, like a lot of Asian, even though they're changing though. They're buying into it, to the propaganda. And because it used to be back in the day, Asians, if they were able, married Asians, and they, built together, and when they came to this country with the aspect of, I need to meet another Asian and do-da-da-da-da. But now, everybody wants a white woman.
Well, some people do want
because the Asians are stepping out of their race as well.
They are?
But
not as in large numbers as other races.
That's what I said.
You can have an Asian woman.
There may be, but not in large numbers. Not like they have in our communities. You know what I'm saying? And I have to speak about our community because this is the community that I live in. You see, I don't know about white folks. I don't want to talk about Asians. I don't want to talk about Italians. And
Jews,
compare them with us.
Right.
But in our, society, in our culture, we look somewhere else, and bring that in.
Still predominantly, we still marry, but that's an old statistic. I would like to see what it is in 2021. I forget what year that statistic came out that they said black men still predominantly marry black women, but the propaganda is that we can't get along with each other. And I know most of my friends are married.
Most men and women don't get along.
Just don't get along, no matter what race it is. You know?
Have to.
It's not a black thing. That's not a
black thing.
It's not a black thing.
But what I'm saying is the propaganda has, because that's who I represent. That's who I am.
Yes, shout out to Charles Stevenson, Umayaya.
And
he is a G&J supporter.
Oh yeah, he letting us know.
Yes.
No, and listen to the words they said. Umayaya. They said since we started the show, Blunt Talk. Now you was on before Blunt Talk, so let all that.
But nevertheless, shit.
Let it roll down.
My first cigarette of the day, and Lord, y'all.
He said, trying to take on an alien culture produces insanity, and that's very true, and that's what we get. But we make it. How can I put it? The propaganda helps us assimilate that and make us think that is normal, and we think that we're acting normal.
But something else
Go ahead.
that we didn't used to do that I see a lot, and I'm not saying I'm not putting you down if you did it. No,
okay.
That's one of them, though. But damn it. But one of them is that we used to not put our people in nursing homes.
Ooh.
We used to not. That was a no-no in the black community. to put your people in nursing homes. But now it's just common.
It's common.
It's common. You know, you would have that old uncle or grandparent that would be in the room, and you'd have to take them their food and everything else until they, passed on. But now, they promoted these beautiful, that the media promotes these beautiful nursing homes on TV that most of us can't afford.
What they call them? Retirement homes.
Retirement homes. That we can't even afford to be in the real nice one. Independent living. And if that's what you want to do, that's cool. If you want to go, but I know my grandmother did not want it to go. We need to produce our own propaganda. That's right.
You're right. So that we could go and push out.
That's why we're trying to build this up higher and higher. Then maybe one day we'll have a station that we have of our own that you can tune in to get the news. We could tell you like I did about the Asians, because that propaganda they selling right now that black people are so violent towards Asians. That's a big old piece of bullshit. They didn't promote that shit when they was kicking our asses in these nail salons and beauty supply stores.
Oh, when they was?
Well, when they still are.
I mean, come on now, let's be clear about that. So now, and then also they won't talk about where the root of this is, and we know where the real violence is going against Asians from, because your boy went up on stage and called it the Asian. What do you call it? The Asian. When Donald Trump went up there, that was the first thing.
Oh, the Chinese flu.
That's right. He called it that, not us. And it ain't us that's out there doing that, because I'm telling you right now, I seen a news report yesterday with my mom where they was talking about the rise of violence against Asians on national news, and that's not us.
But it's being promoted now.
It's being promoted as us. The spin
is now that it's us. But when coronavirus came out, them motherfuckers was fucking Asians up. I seen the shit that they was being really aggressive towards Asians. And Asians were saying, they was feared for their life, just like with 9/11. When that happened, white folks started harassing Arab people and Muslims and shit, you know what I'm saying? But now all of a sudden there's a problem with black people assaulting Asians.
That ain't us.
Don't bite into the bullshit. And then did you hear that Biden, I don't know what happened to Freedom tonight, but she might be having problems with her computer. But did you see where Biden had what was that I was saying?
Biden did what? It's something about
he's putting new regulations on getting that stimulus package now. And I have filled out something the other day regarding the SBA loan or some kind of loan that they were offering. And they had a whole new list of questions you had to answer. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? Have you been to jail in the last 90 days? Or they were all mostly
Thank you, Joe.
crime-related questions. And if you answered yes to any of them motherfuckers, you wasn't eligible no more. Because they say more black businesses have been created during the coronavirus pandemic than ever. Ever.
So for example, we was ready when this hit because of how we was doing stuff prior to the pandemic. Because y'all know we was streaming before the pandemic, right? As a matter of fact, you started your show right before the pandemic, right?
I don't know.
Huh?
It may have been doing.
No, but she had been talking about it for she talked about it for a year before she shot it.
Yeah, because
that's a grapefruit. Get another one.
I can't drink this because I'm not supposed to drink grapefruit. I'm not supposed to have grapefruit.
Oh,
give him a lime one with a green lid on it.
I'm sorry.
Halfway through.
He
decided.
Well, no, it ain't halfway.
But so it's important that we not buy into the propaganda machine. You dig? So anything.
And we're gonna buy into a propaganda machine. Let's make sure it's ours.
Yeah. Make sure it's ours.
And what causes propaganda is part of gossip. If we could quit gossiping so much, then we won't have to worry about propagandering coming through us. You know what I'm saying?
Now I will challenge you on that.
You could.
But you could, motherfucker, but you ain't.
But part of gossip, part of gossiping allows propaganda to come in. You know what I'm saying?
But
because they come in together.
But
go ahead.
Gossiping or talking, because basically when we talk, we got to have something to talk about. A lot of us say gossiping, but a lot of us talk. That's how news spread, right? So of course, propaganda can be on there. Now, gossip,
right. That's right,
in a lot of cases, does not deal with the propaganda that's going on. It deals with the bullshit that's going on with us.
Well,
example.
Yeah, example.
I steal content.
Okay, so if you said to me that I steal content, now when I go to gossiping to the person over here, what it's going to look like is that you a thief.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Now, when they get over here, because nobody yet asks, well, who told you that? You know what I'm saying? Who said that? You know what I'm saying? See, when they get over here, it done changed from you a thief that I can't trust him.
Right.
See, that's what gossip does. You know what I'm saying? And then when they get back around you, if it ever get back to you, you
done stole pussy and everything.
You done did a whole bunch of stuff, and at the same time, by the time it get to you, you gonna want to know, well, where in the hell did that shit come from?
By the time you don't know. Now, but also gossip works like this too.
Well, I know how gossip
works.
Hold
on now, but hold on.
But all that shit is propaganda.
Hold on. I went to Luminal shop and I got some excellent service. He always got the oil that I want. Is a dual-edged sword, because like when we say stop gossiping, what we're talking about is stop, because even in the way we greet each other during Kwanzaa, Habari Ghani says, "What's the news?"
What's the news?
As a people, the way we used to get news around before social media and before newspapers was word of mouth.
But I think gossiping is something that is maybe more of a negative connotation in it, as opposed to just spreading news.
Right.
I think that, they could be one. Yeah, shut the hell up then. I'ma shut up.
I quit. I ain't taking it.
One of motherfucker. I'ma shut up. That's just like somebody be on Facebook and they be like, I'm about to unfriend you, or I'm about to quit this group. Just do it. Quit talking about it.
You accuse me of stealing pussy and everything. I got to go.
I'm selling pussy.
But one more thing I want to talk about too, and I'm surprised that it's still a thing. But I'm noticing this more and more that this is still a thing.
What?
I was watching something they had on last night about Black women and their contributions in history and how they have been held back from a lot of things because they were Black women, and being held back too by Black men. And I was talking to my dude, and he was saying to me last night that, well, Black women have been this, and the war is on Black women. And that's where another thing we need to stop doing is making it somehow that this war on Black people is gender biased.
Say it again. Say it again.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Praise the Lord.
It's like I hear some women.
Jesus walked in the room.
We the most, and I know Malcolm said the most disrespected in the Black race is the Black woman. However, I totally disagree with that because I see a lot of disrespect with Black men. I don't think one is any worse than the other, and we need to stop separating. That's another separation piece that we're now, especially it's like women take pride. It's like it gives you a club to be in. I'm in the Black woman club, and this is a club where, we have been continuously disrespected, as if Black men aren't continually disrespected just as much as a woman. Quit separating the shit like somehow that the white man hates one more than the other.
Ooh.
I don't think he dislikes us both, and we need to realize it's a Black thing.
So you saying Black first?
Black first.
Black first.
Even with the LGBTQ community.
Black first.
Black first. Because those whites in the LGBTQ, they do not address the Black needs that you have. And when you walk into a store, the person may not even know that you gay. But you know what they are going to know?
They know you Black.
They're going to know that you Black. But that's another way to separate us is by saying, okay, and there was in the LGBTQ movement is really doing LGBTQ plus movement.
Plus,
It's a plus on there. Yeah, it's doing what the feminist movement did to the movement in the Black community. It's separating Black people.
Yeah.
And we had wanted to do the Juneteenth celebration on Juneteenth, and we have been told by the LGBTQ community here in Columbus, Ohio, the Black LGBTQ community, that we can't have Juneteenth on that day because they're doing
their pride. That's their day.
The Black Pride on that day.
The
now,
words
how
is
the
that
hell
day.
You want to take a Black holiday and you Black and tell other Black people that you can't celebrate that because we're doing gay shit first? Now, that just sounds backwards to me. Yeah, but you would never hear them tell white folks, you got to move 4th of July celebration.
Because we doing Black shit.
Because we doing
red, white, and boom.
Yeah, you got to move that shit because we want to do the gay shit on this day. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop and come together. And I understand sometimes in the Black community that people have issues with the LGBTQ community. However, that is a changing tide.
But hold on. I'm going to say this. The same resistance that they get in our community is the same resistance that they get in all other communities. Because you hit it on the nail. Our stuff is accentuated. You know what I'm saying? Because and it's made to look like it's worse. But they get the same shit in the white community. Come on now.
Who does?
Gay people.
Yeah, Black LGBT.
No, not just Black. With white people, they have an issue with gay people too. You have people automatically have a problem with different things because it don't fit into the way that you see the world. That ain't just confined to us.
But it's not that the Black community have a problem with the gay community. From what she was saying was that the gay community had a problem with Juneteenth being the time of the Black Pride. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what has to be addressed is that why Black LGBTQ are you having a problem with Juneteenth being held on a day that has always been held on?
Always been held on.
Until you can come up with a reason that we can sit down and talk about so we can explain to you, LGBTQ, that, there's nothing wrong with you coming to our event, and then have your event later. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then I would have preferred it been like, oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that is Juneteenth. That's the Black Liberation Day. Okay, let's get together and celebrate that.
Yeah.
Black Emancipation Day.
Yeah, Black Emancipation, Black Liberation.
No, we can get Emancipation, together. Liberation, different.
Okay, well, Black Emancipation Day, we can get together as a group, as Black people, and celebrate that day.
Yeah.
But instead, this is the disconnect.
Because see, you don't have no problem celebrating, like we are talking about. You don't have no problem celebrating 4th of July, Black people, Black LGBT. Because those things, if you go back to 1775, 1776, that, you'll see where, we weren't even free people then. But you will go and celebrate that, and you don't bring that to nobody's attention. You don't bring it to the city's attention. You don't bring it to nobody's attention. You just join in, and if you ain't joining in the 4th
of July while you were still slave.
And if you ain't joining in nowhere, you're having a goddamn barbecue at your house.
Now, but how many barbecues have you had for Juneteenth?
Now tell me something. Tell me,
the brainwashing is real.
With that shit. I mean, part of what we do hurt our own self.
Right.
We kill our own shit. But we don't try to kill their shit. And then we'll complain in front of our face
that we don't have nothing in the Black community.
We ain't got nothing.
But then when you put something out there that now you want to be divisive between where what day where the LGBTQ said we can't do this on this day, or you just have black people who don't celebrate Juneteenth hardly at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, are you going to start celebrating your black cultural stabilizers, or are you going to continue to support shit like the damn Red, White, and Boom and the 4th of July and all of that? Now, I mean, if that's what you want to do you, but don't in the same breath neglect your own.
Or don't deny us from celebrating our own.
And shit, but still support us in celebrating your own.
Yeah. Because they got some of us, we'll celebrate Juneteenth and celebrate 4th of July too. Now tell me that shit ain't messed up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, well, some people are still...
You celebrate your freedom, and then you also celebrate your slavery.
You celebrate your emancipation.
Well, you celebrate your emancipation, then you celebrate their emancipation while you were still unemancipated.
That's true.
I guess, I mean, he got a point. Illumina definitely has a point.
He got a point. I'm just saying, I just want to make sure the words is right. Shouts out to Daniel XGD.
You just had to say that.
I had to. K Pasa to you as well. If you from North Africa, why are you saying K Pasa? Negroes? K Pasa, my friend. How are you? Go and put something up here, because I hope you coming as a friend, because you coming as an enemy, I'm going to blow your ass up. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I talk about borders.
And let me just say, since we on the subject before we go, that a lot of the issues that non-whites have with black folks, period, specifically black men, we're going to talk about black men right now, is that one thing that Dr. Francis Cress Welsing has told us is it comes down to penis envy. And that is why a lot of them do a lot of things to keep the black man down, because, and I've had white men tell me this, that it's because they're jealous of the black man's penis.
What?
That's what I've been told. But I'm not even gonna go there. So, we need to realize that there's an insecurity. There's insecurity. That's Francis Cress Welsing said that. And there's insecurity amongst others. But she's the one that people most notably contribute that ideology with. And I used to disagree with her on that till one day I was listening to the Howard Stern show, and he told the audience that when he's around white men, and they talk about black men, that is the main subject that comes up, is the size of black men's penises. Also, if in the porn industry, if you are a white woman in the porn industry and you have sex with a black man, your value now goes down, because white men have this fantasy that they're fulfilling through porn, that you want them and you find them desirable. But when they sleep with black men on camera, they now say to themselves, like, I don't think I could satisfy her because she done had that big black penis, which I guess that part could be propaganda. However, there was scientific evidence at one time, because I read this in high school, it was a long time ago, but there was
about penis in high school.
It was an article in a magazine.
What high school you went to?
It wasn't high school related.
Oh, I'm just.
It was an article I was reading in a magazine.
Okay.
And they were it was a medical magazine, and they talked about erect penises and whatnot. And I remember this because it said if you're a black male, add 3 inches.
They add 3 inches.
Yeah, to your penis size. So there was an issue.
I wish they could do that with wealth.
They're not telling you to physically go add. They're just saying when you're comparing like a white person's male's penis, it's this. But if you're black, then it's this by 3 more inches.
I'm just saying I wish we could do that with wealth.
Okay. So the point being that they have this obsession with the size of the black man's penis in their mind. They find it degrading because they operate primarily, in my opinion, out of their sacral chakra. They're very overly sex, which we have taken on the trait as well, and that's where they
We ain't
think
supposed to have
out
a lot
of.
of sex?
I didn't say that.
I'm just asking.
Okay, and I'm just answering. So, it's a matter of fact that even I have heard white people say, you know why I've become so successful in life? Because I want to be able to keep when that black man come to me for a job, I feel insecure to him until I can tell him yes or no on the job. Or I can make him do what I want him to do on the job. That then makes me feel like there's some type of power over him because, I'm pissed that I think in my mind that his penis can take my woman.
I got a question. Brothers, would you prefer a large penis or a large bank account? I'm just doing a survey. You want the large penis or the large bank account? I'm just wondering.
What you want, Lumala? I can't answer that.
I want the large bank account.
Okay.
And I'm saying that to say this here.
Yeah. That, you want the large bank
most
account.
of all of the history that we get is from what white people have to say about us.
Right. And be clear that what I'm saying is that is their perspective. I'm not saying that's what is, but this is their perspective.
Yeah.
You can't have both. You can only pick one.
Yeah.
You got to pick one. You got to pick one. See, now I'm asking this question because look, we have a propaganda machine here. Listen, white man, if you listening, West Asian, listen to me. I will start a whole propaganda campaign on G&J Media saying that y'all dick is larger if you will deposit $1 million in all of our accounts. Matter of fact, I'll give you the group of individuals' accounts that you can put the money in, and we'll trade. I mean, if that's all it is, if that makes them feel powerful, y'all can have the big dick. I want the big wealth. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But if Umiyaya got a point, if I can have both.
You can have both, you're gonna have both.
But
we are not the type of people that are rules.
How do men know that?
How do they know what?
I'm just saying, how do men know? I don't. How do you know?
How do you know what?
I'm just wondering who was measuring and who.
How does he know that black men have bigger penises?
How do you know this type of shit?
And you a man?
Because in this particular medical journal that I was reading, medical magazine, they actually measured.
So you had other men measuring men.
Yes.
That's problematic to me.
Well,
I mean, that's what they did, and I don't think that's true anymore.
So somebody,
why they on the
somebody
hard,
got
apparently.
their doctorate on that shit. Somebody took some time to study and write about that shit.
Why they got an erection, or why they
I have no idea.
I think it's why the erection.
Yeah, has to.
So
because it says something like the average size of a white man's penis, erect, is like 4 to 5 inches. Then it said, but if you're black, add like 3 inches, saying that the African American man's was slightly larger.
So if you add 3 inches, then you get a hard on. Your motherfucking ass is like that.
Oh, no. Come on now. There you go. You spread. See, you're messing up the deal. You're messing up the deal.
All right.
You're messing up the deal.
I mean, that's what they were saying, though. And a lot of things that we see and we hear are through the eyes of Europeans. We have to realize that.
We have to be careful about that type of propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Because, we've been doing too much European stuff in America as black people as it is. That's one reason why we have not been able to, culminate or get ourselves together, because we spend a lot of time disseminating or spurting out what the fuck they say about
because
us.
The thing about it is even with marijuana, if you study the history of marijuana became illegal because they thought that it was causing white women to sleep with black men.
That might be anybody,
but that's what they put out
pretty
there.
true. I'm just saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's what they was put out. But then they'll tell us that black people are overly sexed and they go out raping people and black men are
That's
rapists
true.
and this and that. But then at the same note,
that's what they say is what they say.
That's what they say. And then the same note, you put out information like the reefer madness is that we can't have this because it's a black drug. They considered it a black drug that black men were giving to white women, and the poor white lady Karen was fucking these niggas based on marijuana. So they made it illegal because of that.
Wait, I will say this though. Think about this. Before weed was the scourge of this country, Coca-Cola was made with cocaine.
Correct.
Right.
White women was drinking Lodium, and they was drinking Coca-Cola. All these things. Now, all of a sudden,
the face of the drug addict is a black man until this shit here. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. The propaganda is that black people was drug addicts, that we were, like even Billie Holiday and a lot of our entertainers were introduced to heroin
by who?
By a white person.
Hold on. Now, none of this shit. I'm mind
but the
you.
propaganda
none of this
says
shit come
that
from Africa. None of this shit comes from Africa or is majorly grown in Africa. None of this shit came with us. We didn't have weed seeds in our hair when we came to this motherfucker. We didn't smuggle in poppies and start growing that shit in America. This shit come from totally different cultures. Cocaine come from South America. Poppy seeds come from Asia. What else? Alcohol. I mean, the strong where y'all distill this shit and make the shit potent and make it kill you. That come from y'all. That ain't us. And we have been the whipping boy and whipping woman, whipping man and whipping woman for the last 200 years in America, and that shit is about to stop because I and all those that's in GNJ.media, we are going to start making people feel uncomfortable and feel responsible for what the fuck they've been doing. All these lies. These are lies, family.
So don't blame. So like a lot of people too. And then we're gonna get out of here. Talk about the criminal justice system and how right now there's more black males incarcerated than any other race of people. But we are not but white people go to court in a larger amount of numbers, and well, no, they go to the court about the same numbers, but we get convicted more.
No, can I make an adjustment?
What?
It's not the same numbers, same percentages.
Right, percentage wise, but we are convicted at a higher rate. We are incarcerated at a higher rate. But even our own black people will say things like, this person, they always committing crime, and the people ain't in jail. Well, if they didn't do nothing, they wouldn't be in jail. So now we are putting this propaganda somehow that a lot of black people are committing all this crime and going to jail, when the ACLU has said that at least 20,000 people are incarcerated who are innocent, at least. And the predominant number of those are black males. So, we got to take our face off of some of this shit, and we got to get in front of it because it's already grew legs. So we got to get in front of it and change the motherfucking the narrative.
It's like that fast roach that you be trying to step on. That motherfucker just be.
Well, we at the end of the hour, y'all.
She always trying to stop at an hour. We having a good time. Those that want to keep on talking. She hit me again.
So we are. Thank you for joining us today.
I hope you got workers' comp because I can't be.
So I'm hoping that next week we'll be back on our regular platforms and running. I don't know. If not, we'll be having to do it this way.
I think we off for at least 30 days.
Remember, GNJ.media
will be up. Go on and get your account. I'm going to adjust it so that y'all can see. That y'all can see it right at the beginning.
Write that down and get you an account. Get you an account. You got to account for everything else. You got a bank account with white people. And you got a bank account with white people if you use a bank. Your check where you work at goes somewhere. So let's do that. Let's do that.
All right. Well, y'all, I don't know where they
We
at.
got 53 shares.
53 comments.
Oh, 53 comments.
You
one
cut
share.
the hell off. But I don't know where them 53 comments are, but okay.
Wow. All right, family. We want to thank y'all very much for tuning in. Remember, we'll be doing the toast early in the morning. It'll be about 5:45, somewhere around there. Will you be able to see the show there?
We're hoping so. By next week, we'll have it back up and running.
Once again, because of y'all coming to gnj.media and some people uploading videos, it crashed the site, family. So we're going to have problems because we don't got big money like that. You see, I cry every time because the media talking about we paying people's bills, having competition. I'm sorry.
Okay, so thank you for joining us because I'm going to cut this sucker off.
I get emotional when she just be giving away, I guess.
So thank you for joining us. You know,
we need supporters.
What I need y'all to do though, shoot me an inbox
she want to give away
message.
Prizes.
If I could mute this motherfucker, I really would.
Shoot want to give away money.
Shoot me an inbox.
She paying people's bills.
If you don't be quiet, if you can,
we can't do it.
Please stop. You cut off. What's in that damn cup, motherfucker?
Coffee.
Yeah, beer coffee. So anyway,
we snitching now?
I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you for joining us. If you could please, because I struggle to come up with topics for the show. I don't want to keep repeating the same topic because some of these topics I can continue to talk about on every show. And I want to try to keep a variety going. So hit me on the inbox. Hit me on my page. Hit G&J, Giame Journey Media. Hit Alumala Akumame. How you say it?
Yeah,
all right. Yeah. And Hatim, Giame, and hit us with some stuff that you would like to discuss on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would really appreciate if y'all could help me come up with some motherfucking topics because I'll be struggling on the struggle bus with that. But thank you for joining us, everybody. And we will get back with y'all next week.
I ain't read a poem.
Oh, God. Well, what are you going to do? You are a poem.
I am a poem. But let's see.
Don't y'all leave right now because we're going to read a poem.
I got a poem.
One of his Brother Hatim's poems.
This is a short one.
Okay, cool.
This is for all of y'all. This is called The Greatest. This is one that I used to put on my voicemail. What makes the great great is thinking in which we all should dwell. For the great person can find heaven, even in hell. They can snatch glory from the jaws of defeat, and they dedicate their lives to protecting the weak. For being great first starts in our minds, so we are all just one thought from being the greatest of all time.
All right, change your mindsets. Ashe. Talk to y'all next week.
Tell somebody that they are great.
That's right.
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Giame Journey. See some of the stuff we do. Come and join us.